The rite of first night, or shortened to first night, is the practice 10,000 years old in Westeros that traces its origins all the way to the Dawn Age with the first men. This tradition allowed a lord or king the privilege to sleep with any small folk bride on her wedding night before her husband. As the first men were all about strength, if the woman became pregnant with the lord warrior king's offspring, it was considered a blessing and honor to raise the child. Sometimes a king would take a nobleman's wife on the first night, but this was less frequent due to not wanting to anger the people that actually had power to retaliate in some way. The small folk were easier targets because what were they really going to do? And through manipulation, they were convinced that they were being given an honor, though there were some small folk that didn't consider this an honor, which led to some secret weddings to avoid their lord or king taking advantage. First night continued when the Andals invaded, though the Andals didn't originally practice it. And by this time, those of Westeros began to resent the tradition. It was no longer something that was considered an honor. This resentment, however, did not transfer over to the Targaryens. After fleeing Valyria when Daenys the Dreamer saw the destruction of the Freehold, they settled on Dragonstone. Due to the Targaryens' beautiful appearance and unique features, purple eyes and silver hair, non-Valyrian descendants on Dragonstone and around this location were absolutely enchanted with them and their bloodline. This meant well after the practice was resented in the rest of Westeros, it was going strong with the Targaryens. It was considered such a blessing for a Targaryen lord to sleep with your wife on your wedding night that the husbands gave lavish gifts to any child that was born from the practice. These children began known as Dragonseeds, or Seeds for short. Dragonseeds became even more special after the doctrine of exceptionalism was created by King Jaehaerys Targaryen I, the fourth Targaryen king to sit the Iron Throne. Due to the Faith of the Seven followers being quite angry at the Targaryens' practice of incest and the rebellions that happened after Aegon the Conqueror died and the throne passed to his son Aenys, Jaehaerys knew something needed to be done. Therefore, he created the doctrine of exceptionalism, which stated that while Targaryens weren't gods, they weren't on the same level as the gods of the Faith of the Seven. They were above the average man, so the hierarchy would go non-Valyrians, Valyrians, and then gods at the top. Under Jaehaerys' wife's insistence, the rite of first night was made illegal. However, that didn't stop the Targaryens from sleeping with small folk, from fishermen wives to daughters of local establishments. The Targaryens enjoyed sleeping with other men's wives so much that it was said many on and around Dragonstone probably had at least a drop of Valyrian in their blood.